misinformation, making sure
US President Joe Biden appears to be obsessed with artificial intelligence, a technology he views as full of promise, but also fraught with risks.
and the intersection of technology and society, who we can provide reins, who can provide a range of perspectives for.
According to Mr. Biden, social media is a prime example, illustrating how harmful technology can have frightening consequences if not properly regulated. And as AI explodes, it has become the top concern of the most powerful man in the United States. He is determined to establish AI regulations before it's too late.
These commitments are real and they're concrete. They're going to help industry fulfill.
President Biden has watched as aides pulled up fake images of him generated with artificial intelligence. Together, they have asked ChatGPT to explain an obscure Supreme Court case and used AI to make artistic renderings of Biden's dog, Commander. The president observed with wonder and worry, according to a senior White House advisor. These instances were among many closed-door discussions Biden has held on AI as he and his administration prepare to impose a broad new set of guardrails around the technology. Addressing his cabinet in June, the president asked his appointees to report back by their next meeting in the fall on what actions to include in a comprehensive government approach towards the rapidly evolving technology. President Biden seems to be growing increasingly determined with this goal. According to the Wall Street Journal, despite bipartisan support, the majority of previous U.S. governments and lawmakers have failed in their efforts to regulate tech companies before they become too powerful and uncontrollable. According to the Wall Street Journal, at the present time, the U.S. Congress is in a state of gridlock. They are hesitant to pass major legislation ahead of the presidential election. President Biden's aides acknowledge that the leader is constrained in taking unilateral actions. The urgency to act reflects how so-called generative AI tools such as ChatGPT, which can instantly create high-quality digital content, have captured Washington's attention at the highest levels. The issue of AI has taken on a deeper meaning for Biden, who, in conversations with top officials in his administration, has suggested that decisions made around the technology could impact generations and shape part of his legacy. He views this as an existential challenge. Bruce Reed, Biden's deputy chief of staff, said in an interview, "This is not just another issue that came along. This is a technology that has the potential for phenomenal good or ill." There are already concerns that AI will displace low-wage workers from jobs, threaten data privacy, and fuel online misinformation. Its algorithms are vulnerable to ethical bias and discrimination. Some conservatives and industry executives are worried that a broad government effort to manage AI could thwart the technology's benefits. "You need to give innovation a wide berth and not try to micromanage it," said Adam Thierer, a senior research fellow in the R Street Institute, a conservative think tank. "If you spend all your time worrying about hypothetical worst-case scenarios and you base public policy on worst-case scenarios, then a very many best-case scenarios don't come about." Others say that what the Biden administration has rolled out thus far, such as recent voluntary commitments from 7 big AI companies to watermark AI-generated content and test their systems for security risks, doesn't go far enough. For instance, one approach is to encourage tech companies like Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Anthropic, and OpenAI to voluntarily commit to providing new products that are safe, secure, and trustworthy, thereby avoiding security risks. Without any penalties for falling short, the commitments don't challenge the AI companies involved to go beyond the safety practices they have already implemented or promised, said Sarah Myers West, a researcher at the AI Now Institute, a New York University research group. A closed-door deliberation resulting in voluntary safeguards isn't a substitute for enforceable guardrails, she said. These companies certainly know the difference between voluntary commitments and regulation that carries the force of law. In previous AI guidelines issued by the White House, steps were also non-binding and didn't include enforcement measures. The White House is in the process of developing an executive order on AI that an official said will aim to protect workers and consumers and address cybersecurity risks. Previous guidelines issued under Biden have been aimed at safeguarding personal data from misuse in AI algorithms, such as those that drive hiring, lending, and other business decisions, and were described by the White House as a blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights. Aides say the push to do more has been driven by Biden himself, who has voiced particular concern over the technology's implications for foreign policy and national security. People who have discussed AI with President Biden have recounted that the leader has expressed concerns about the situation where he is subjected to deepfake AI. The leader also harbors suspicions about the potential impact of technology on democracy, especially at a time when disinformation about the presidential election is spreading rapidly on online platforms. Biden's own experimentation with ChatGPT has left the president amazed by the speed with which the tool can generate material. At an Oval Office meeting in April, aides prompted ChatGPT to create content related to a lawsuit known as New Jersey versus Delaware. The president and his aides saw how ChatGPT would explain the lawsuit to a first grader, how it would write a brief on the case for an associate fresh out of law school, and even how it would write a song about the lawsuit. His directive was, "We've got to move fast here," White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients said in an interview. Too often, technology moves faster than we do as a federal government. Recent scenarios involving fake images have demonstrated the potential consequences. In May, the stock market briefly dipped after an AI-generated image of a fake explosion at the Pentagon went viral. Tech executives and artificial intelligence scientists issued a joint statement in May warning that AI poses an extinction risk as great as pandemics and nuclear war. Signatories included Sam Altman, chief executive of OpenAI, the company that developed ChatGPT, and executives from Microsoft and Google. These companies are seeking to shape any regulations, and Altman has spent weeks meeting with lawmakers and other leaders globally to discuss AI's risks and his company's idea of safe regulation. Biden administration officials say there is also much to seize on with respect to AI's capabilities, including improvements in cancer research and detection and mitigating climate change. The White House points to how AI tools can both increase productivity and create better and more skilled jobs for some workers. Still, some view Biden's attitude toward big tech as more aggressive than his predecessors. When Facebook struggled to contain conspiracy theories about COVID-19 vaccines in 2021, the president accused the social media giant of killing people, comments he later walked back, but not without calling on the company to do more to combat misinformation. In his State of the Union address last year, Biden pledged to hold social media platforms accountable for the national experiment they're conducting on our children for profit. That skepticism was on display when Biden convened civic leaders at the Fairmont in San Francisco for a discussion on AI last month. When attendee Tristan Harris introduced himself as the CEO of the Center for Humane Technology, the president joked, "Is that an oxymoron? Your opinion is what matters. Is President Biden's concern justified or exaggerated?" Please leave your comments below, and thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.